Today we're ranking NBA teams based on watchability. Now this is completely opinion based. You could enjoy watching the true title contenders, or you could enjoy watching up and coming teams with very exciting young stars. Or you might just watch your team because they have a role player that you absolutely love and will not miss one of their games. Either way, this is my tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the video. First, we have the New Orleans Pelicans. They have Zion, Brandon Ingram, and CJ McCollum. They also have some nice young talent in Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado, and Jackson Hayes. I'm a huge fan of watching young talent and watching them grow and develop. So in that case, I'm going to put the Pelicans on the S tier. Next, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. Now we have Ja Morant, we have Desmond Bane, we have Dillon Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., and that's pretty much about it for that roster that I like to watch. Oh yeah, Tyus Jones is another good one too. The Ja show in itself is an S tier for me. You're just, when you watch the Grizzlies, you're on the edge of your seat the entire time waiting for Ja Morant to go off and do something crazy. Seems like every other game he does something that's like a dunk of the year or a play of the year type of play, and you're waiting on doing that, and when he's on the bench, well, you're on your phone. The Milwaukee Bucks, a lot of S tiers here. Giannis, same thing. You never want to take your eye off Giannis. He does so many things on the basketball court that just blow you away. His shot blocking, his defense, his offense, his rim and running and dunking, and his passing out of the post. I mean, he plays just a beautiful brand of basketball, and so does that entire Bucks team with Drew Holiday playing stellar defense, Chris Middleton knocking down shots. The Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm gonna put them on the A tier. They just traded for Donovan Mitchell, which is great. I made a whole other video on that if you want to check that out. You have Darius Garland, who I absolutely love. Donovan Mitchell, who the ball can't stagnate with sometimes. That's my only big concern with that Cavs team. You have Evan Mobley and you have Jared Allen. But this is going to be one of those teams that I only watch like the first 20 games of probably. And then I'll be like, okay, this team is good or this team is average or whatever it may be. You know, I'm going to be watching to see the Donovan Mitchell addition, and then also the growth and development of the young guys and Jared Allen, Mobley, and Garland, and etc. Luka isn't as exciting to me as the star players in these three top teams, and there's no other real player that stands out to me on that Mavericks team besides Luka Doncic. Christian Wood's a good player, not really enjoyable to watch. I mean, he brings you good offense, doesn't bring you any defense. So I'm gonna put him in the A tier just because the Luka show. The Luka show is definitely crazy, fun to watch, but there's other one-man shows that I'd love to watch a lot more than Luka Doncic. Next, with Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, Chet Holmgren going down for this season really hurts their ranking on this. They have a couple of nice young players that are going to be exciting to watch, like Josh Giddey, Bolton Williams, Ousmane Dieng. But you don't really know with a lot of the prospects that they've drafted so far how well they're going to pan out. I mean, you have Josh Giddey, who's going to be a great player. Shea, we know, is an all-star caliber player. Trey Mann is had a really good rookie campaign. But I'm going to put him on the C tier. Now, if Chet Holmgren was on this team, I would put him up in the B tier. And I also think that they don't have a rookie anymore that's exciting and that I want to watch. And then I also think that by the all-star break, they're going to be sitting Shea, sitting Josh Giddey just to tank some more and get a higher draft pick. So moving on, the Houston Rockets, I'm putting them one tier above the Thunder because Kevin Porter is an exciting player. Josh Green, Jalen Green is an exciting player. Yeah, you have Sengun, who is going to be really, really exciting. He has a lot of potential, and it's going to be fun to watching him play. You have Josh Christopher. You have Jabari Smith who's playing. So you have a lot of young offensive talent on that team, and it's going to be real fun to watch. But on the other hand, you're going to have bad defense and high turnovers. So B tier is where the Rockets are going to lay for me. Celtics, I'm being a homer. A tier or S tier. My favorite team, so of course I'm gonna be watching them almost every day. Actually, no, I'm gonna put on the brakes. Toronto's gonna be A tier for sure. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, Freddie is an absolute dog on defense. Gary Trent can shoot the lights out. Scotty Barnes, I'm really gonna be excited for Scotty Barnes on his next step in the NBA. Wondering what type of player is really gonna mold himself into. And then you have Precious Achiuwa is going to be interesting. So I think A tier for the Raptors. However, I'll probably only be watching the first 20 games of this team. Sacramento Kings, nothing really excites me about the Kings. I think they're going to be a play-in team at best. De'Aaron Fox is cool. Keegan Murray could be interesting. Sabonis is not really fun to watch in my opinion. I mean, he's an interesting player, but it's just like he's not an exciting player. And I don't know how their brand of basketball is going to be, so I'm going to put him on the C tier. The Pheonix Suns, I absolutely love watching the Pheonix Suns play basketball. Their ball movement is on a whole nother level. The way they swing the ball, the way they, utilize all three areas of the game, or all three areas of offense, which is, at the rim, the mid-range, and the three-point line. They have a very nice balance on their scoring attack. That's why I think they're so great on offense, because you never know what they're going to hit you with. Hopefully the team can kind of hold things together this season after a rough offseason. The Orlando Magic can be another one of those teams where I watched the first 20 games of and probably won't watch them again for a while. But I'm going to put them on the B tier because they have a lot of young, interesting players. I'm excited to see what Markelle Fultz could hopefully turn into. Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs may still have some potential left. And I'm really excited. I'm more excited about Franz Wagner's season than I am for Paolo Banchero's. So if Franz has a fantastic second year and improves on his three-point shot, improves on his ball handling, his playmaking, and he becomes a 20-ish point per game scorer, as long as Paolo having a good rookie season, the Orlando has something nice down there. So I'm gonna be watching out for that, mainly for Franz, and then Paolo is obviously number 1 pick in the draft. I'm gonna be watching him as well. So B tier watchability. The Orlando Magic. The Golden State Warriors, even though they dogged my Celtics in the finals, I'm still going to be watching their games and watching Steph do what Steph Curry does. And it's also going to be interesting watching Jordan Poole's development, Kuminga's development, and hopefully Wiseman can play this year. I'm really excited to see what he has left in the tank. I hope he's not too good, because then the rest of the league is absolutely has no chance if Wiseman can be... Like, the only thing the Warriors really need is size, and if Wiseman can be a starting level center for them, then it's an issue for the rest of the NBA, to be completely honest with you. But with that said, they have veterans who are fun to watch, and they have young talent who is fun, who has had a lot of potential, and could be a really fun team to watch. So Minnesota Timberwolves. D'Lo can be frustrating to watch. Rudy Gobert is not someone you watch. And the Karl-Towns is pretty fun to watch. But Anthony Edwards is really that guy. So I'm putting them on the A tier. Again, I'm going to be watching the first 20 games of this team, see how the Rudy Gobert, Karl-Towns fit, and then I'll probably back off from there. Unless they're winning absolutely every single game, then I'm obviously going to keep watching. And Anthony Edwards is going to make a huge step next year. So I'm going to be really excited to see how this team kind of pulls itself together and makes a playoff run this year. But again, I think I'm just going to be watching the first 20 games to see how Michael Porter Jr. is doing, see how Jamal Murray is doing, and then Jokic. Okay, let's be honest. Jokic has been the most boring back-to-back MVP we've had in history. He's just not that entertaining to watch. I really like his passing ability, but his offense is meh. It's cool when he one-hand tomahawks some shit over his head and it's literally wetter than water. I don't understand how that works, but it does. And it's cool to watch him make some funky shots and do all this and do all that. But I'm just excited for MPJ and Jamal Murray. I'm really excited for Jamal Murray to come back. I'm hoping he comes back as an absolute dog for them. And if he is, the Nuggets are title contenders, and maybe they move up to the S tier for me. Same thing with the Atlanta Hawks. It's just really the Trae Young show. Trae Young's an exciting player, but I don't know. Again, another one of those teams I'm going to be watching the first 20-25 games of, because they traded for Dejounte Murray. I'm curious to see how that trade is going to work out for them. It could not work out as much as they think it's going to, or it could work out in their favor. We have to see what happens with that. But no other player on that roster really excites me that much. The Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham pairing is going to be cool. Cade Cunningham is going to be a really fun player to watch next season. Jaden Ivey, we're going to see how that pair works together. Sadiq Bey, hopefully can develop more of an offensive game other than a spot-up shooter. You have Isaiah Stewart, you have Jalen Duran, you have Marvin Bagley is going to be interesting. But I can't put him up in the A tier. A lot of players are going to be interesting to watch their development, but you can't put them on the level of these teams. Definitely not. Have the Knicks ever been fun to watch? Ever? I I can't remember the last time I'm like, yeah, let's watch the Knicks instead of this team or that team or this team or that. No, it's never happened. I have a very unpopular opinion that Jalen Brunson contract was a very reasonable contract for Jalen Brunson. This take right here that I'm saying could blow up in my face, but I'm going to be watching them to watch Jalen Brunson go off and prove everyone wrong. Brunson's going to average 22 and 8 for that team this season, and so I'm going to be watching the Knicks just to prove everyone wrong that was a pretty reasonable contract for Brunson. He was not overpaid. It's rant over. As a Boston fan, I really don't like Philly. I don't like the Sixers. I don't like the city. It's just the way it is. So I ain't gonna be watching like any of their games. No, just kidding. But I'm gonna be watching them a decent amount. Joel Embiid is really fun to watch. James Harden. I'm really gonna be watching to see how James Harden looks this season. Again, it's gonna be like no one of those teams where it's the first 20, 25 games. Just to see how James Harden is looking. And if James Harden is looking like kind of, not MVP, but Houston James Harden, yeah, I'm going to be watching a lot of their games for sure. Because that pick and roll duo is going to be a problem. Like a major problem. And then they have Tyrese Maxey, they have PJ Tucker, they have some other fun guys to watch on the team. DeAnthony Melton's another good one. So they got a pretty fun roster. Huge Halliburton fan. So I'm putting him on the B tier just because of him. LaMelo just is the reason why this team is even on this list. Their team is in shambles. I mean, I don't even know why they hired Steve Clifford. I mean, they don't have any personnel on that team that matches Steve Clifford's kind of need or wants in a basketball team. This team is going to be awful this year, and LaMelo is going to be stranded on this team for a long time. Next, we got the Miami Heat. Their gritty defense is amazing to watch. Frustrating to watch versus my Celtics in the playoffs. But that's just the way it is. Miami culture, the Miami defense, just the way they play offense too. A lot of the handoffs, screen and rolls with Bam Adebayo and a lot of the action. It's honestly beautiful to watch. Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Max Strus can hit some big shots. So they're a pretty exciting team to watch. And so A tier for me. A tier for me. Chicago Bulls. I don't know. I can't come up if I can't come up with any reasoning to put them in the A tier, then I'm just gonna put them in the B tier. I feel like a lot of teams are gonna be watching, or a lot of people are gonna be watching this team this year. I probably won't be one of them. Like DeMar DeRozan is cool. Obviously, you have Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball is never healthy, Alex Caruso. It's just I don't know. It's kind of just a mid team in terms of entertainment wise for me. The Utah Jazz D, they're gonna be just trying to lose some games. Colin Sexton's gonna be cool. Town Horton Tucker. He's going to be cool. Like, actually, Town Horton Tucker is going to be the only reason why I watch this Utah Jazz team, because I think he has a lot of potential still. Well, even with that says, Jazz, D tier, and along with the Spurs. Like, the Spurs are a rebuilding team, and there's not one guy on that team I can point to and be like, I'm going to watch him this year. Maybe Josh Primo, if he has a good couple of games to start the season. Next, we have the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, they have Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant. They kind of retooled their roster, so I will be watching the first couple games, or the first 20-ish games. But I'll put him on the B tier. I don't know how Dame's going to look. And Anthony Simons is one of my favorite players last year. However, with Dame Lillard coming back, I think Simons' main ball handling duties are going to be pretty much gone. So what is his game now? It's pretty much going to be a spot-up shooter. And there's nothing really excites me about this Blazers team besides Damian Lillard coming back, and we don't know how he's going to look. Again, may watch the first couple of games of this Blazers team and then maybe just have him as background noise for the rest of the season. But that's where they rank for me. The Washington Wizards, nothing excites me about the Wizards. I'm putting them on the C because they have a pretty decent, they have a decent team with some decent young guys. They have Johnny Davis, they have Denny Advia, they have Kyle Kuzma. I'm not a huge Bradley Beal fan. I love watching KP when he's healthy, but he never is. So we're gonna do a C tier for Washington Wizards. Nothing really excites me there. I'm gonna put the Clippers on the S tier, man. I mean, if they could stay healthy, they have two of the best wing defenders in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. They also have another great defender in Terrence Mann. They have John Wall. I've totally forgot about John Wall. I'm definitely watching a lot of Clippers games just to see how John Wall is doing. And then they got they just have a fantastic team. They have Norman Powell, they have Rocco, they have so many guys in their team that's just gonna be overwhelming in terms of their depth and their starting lineup. And they're going to be fun to watch. Everyone's coming back this year. I'm excited to watch Ben Simmons play. I don't really like Kyrie Irving, so we're going to do Nets at A tier. And by the way, I don't like Kyrie Irving because what he did to the Celtics, not because of his personal stuff. I don't care about Kyrie Irving's personal stuff. If he wants to set out games, he can do that. If he doesn't want to get paid, that's completely his choice. I don't really care. Anyways, another side piece that didn't need to be talked about. Lastly, we have the Lakers. They have LeBron James. I'm a big LeBron guy, so we're going to put him on the S tier because I like watching LeBron James play basketball. Come at me, whatever. So that is my tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. There's 2 more popping up. If you want to watch them, check them out. Just hit that sub button. Do what you got to do. Enjoy your day. I'll see you in the next one.